checking my time here. It's about 11:08 on the last day of September 30th, 2017, and we're at one of our favorite places that we get to go to every 2 years, I believe.
Yes.
Not every year, but every 2 years. We're at the Plattsburgh State Fieldhouse. We come here every year many times, but the event we're talking about is the annual Champlain Valley. There's two Champlain Valleys, so I got to make sure I get the right name here. It doesn't say it on your...
Mary Lou Baharnma.
I know that, but I'm talking about the organization.
Oh.
Champlain Valley Quilters Guild of New York.
New York, that's
because
correct.
there's a Champlain Valley Quilters Guild in Vermont.
That's correct. That's very correct, yes.
They own the other half of the Champlain Valley.
That's right, they do. And we're going to have the chair and the co-chair come over to tell more about the show. But I really need to thank Calvin for showing up today. The promotion that we get from this gentleman for everything around the town is just so appreciated. And I want to at least have the opportunity to tell him and you that, and thank all the people coming through the doors, our people that work so hard, and our wonderful, wonderful judges. I invite the judges. They're in charge of that, and their enthusiasm is beyond whatever anyone would expect. And our beautiful number of vendors, and everybody is so friendly and really enjoying coming, and we're enjoying having them. So thank you for that. And I think Vicki and Jean are both here, so I'll let you talk with them.
Well, not just yet here,
okay.
Mary Lou Baharnma.
I don't get off that easy, huh?
No.
Okay.
Now, Baharnma, I know a fellow named Phil. You're related to him.
Oh, yes, he's my husband. He is. His name gets around quite a bit, I guess, between all the different places he's worked, Rouse's Point, Shazy, the prison.
He can't keep a job.
He can't quit a job. He can't stop working. So that's pretty exciting. And the best part of it is he is definitely a great fan for me, so that really helps a lot.
I assume you're a quilter.
I am a quilter. I love it.
Do you have some quilts?
I do. I have 4 quilts on display today, and I joined the Quilting Guild late in life after I retired, and I had time, and I actually retired right from here, Plattsburgh State Art Museum, and it's the best thing I think a woman can do after she retires, maybe besides taking care of their grandchildren sometime and spoiling them all the time. So life is good.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever asked Phil this. One of my favorite basketball players is a guy named Donnie Baharnma from Saranac. He went to school with Alan Palmer and graduated in the mid-'60s.
Yes.
Is he related to Donnie?
He is. He's Phil's cousin.
Okay.
He is he's one of Phil's cousins. So,
okay.
Yes. So the name's around, and if your last name's Baharnma, you probably are related.
Whether you want to be or not.
Well, you don't know everybody, but you're probably related. Not a very common name.
Okay, so you are the advertising, raffle basket, publicity, viewer's choice, and judges chairperson.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, I am.
So there's nothing left for anybody else to do?
Oh my God, there's plenty left. Without these 2 ladies right here.
Oh, that's not what you were saying before they showed up.
Oh.
You were saying that you did it all.
Yeah, I don't think so. I definitely don't think so. But anyway, thank you, Calvin.
Okay, thank you. I know you want to get out of the picture here. So
I do.
We'll let you leave, and we'll bring these other 2 ladies here who are just chomping at the bit to start talking.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
How are you guys?
We're very good. We're
you
very
again.
good. Same
How
here.
was the honor
Let's
flight?
get over here so Judy can point that camera at you. And
how was the honor flight this morning?
honor flight was very good, excellent. They had a special guest today. Besides the Congresswoman being there, they had Bishop LaValle was there. So it turned out to be an excellent honor flight. And
Vicky's husband is very involved with that.
Vicky Johnston and Jean Welch. Yes. You've been around a while here,
yes,
Jean.
Yes, we have. Several years.
You're co-chair, and she's chair now.
Yeah.
I'm the student,
but
I
in front of you? Is that like there's a co-chair, like a vice chair? Is that how it works, or what does that mean?
She's my mentor.
Oh, okay.
And she meant it very well.
And stuff. So we're thrilled. It's gorgeous. There's beautiful work done through here, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been exciting, and we're so happy to see it started off well. So
today it looks a lot different than yesterday when we were setting everything up. And the reason a big part of the reason that this has happened so successfully is the college kids.
college
students here at
students.
Plattsburgh
They're not
State.
kids, they're young adults.
No, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. That's from teaching for so long. They're all kids. So we had some guild members who actually work here, and they were able to work with the volunteer services, I think it's called,
Yes.
community service organization, and we had, I don't know how many.
We had, I think, 48 college students that came and helped us set up.
Guys
So
and girls. And
They did the heavy work, and
yeah, they did up the ladder, down the ladder, not up the down staircase, but and we had guild members here who have done this before that mentored them. So I mean,
it went really smoothly.
we
It
could
was
not have
excellent.
done it without the
Mentoring, that's a kind word for saying giving them orders, to
no,
telling them how it's done.
no. We're not in the classroom anymore.
Yeah, because you don't just put these display racks up. You got to do it where you want them.
And then tomorrow we have to take them down.
Take it out. Will those
Just as
will
much
those-
work.
will those students
It
be
is.
back to help?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they are.
Um,
So we're thankful for that.
4 o'clock we'll start taking down, and then we have 2 guild members with trailers, and everything's loaded onto one trailer, and then we go back to Duran Storage, which we'd like to
Okay.
poke
Acknowledge, yes.
Canoe for, because they help us out with storage. And so everything's packed back in, and then the next trailer takes off when it's loaded. Everything's packed back in, and we lock the door and we say goodbye for a year and a half. Thank you very much. We're done.
It's a 2-year process.
Yes.
So, we have had wonderful team members on the council who have helped out. We meet every month and put it all together, and obviously when it gets a few days close, we hope everything we've done to that point prepared works out well.
That's when you
So
start panicking, right?
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
That's when we hope we're still talking to each other.
that's when we can't walk anymore, But
So you can't
Yeah.
get in here till probably late Friday. This is Saturday because
Noon on Friday.
noon on Friday. yeah.
Out by 8 Friday.
8 p.m.
8 in the morning today.
Uh-huh.
Out at 5.
6.
6.
But
In at 8 tomorrow morning, and out at 6 or 7 we have to be done and out of here. So
okay.
it's
now,
quite the deal.
obviously, there's nuts and bolts to put the racks together. But how are the quilts hung? What? Sure, Judy can carry that little tripod. Move over here with us.
Basically, what they do is this, and this are
The support.
put up,
Uh-huh.
and the quilts are in holding tanks over on the side. Everything is labeled. Sue Minnie is our computer person, and she just goes through and everything is organized. And then the cross pieces are down on the floor, and then we've had another crew of college volunteers. Gib, you still haven't done that.
Yeah, we showed
Gib
up
is having a
15,
tough time.
15 minutes ago. Gib Brown was walking around with that ribbon in his hand.
Bleeding.
He's looking for bribes. Whoever pays him the most gets the ribbon, right?
So then the quilts are brought over to the position. The upright is put through a sleeve, we call it,
Uh-huh.
fabric, and then kids get up on ladders again and they're bolted up. So it's very methodical.
So it's on a sleeve. So obviously you don't want to. Okay. See behind there, dude. So you kind of sew that the sleeve
the
on.
sleeve is stitched on,
Okay.
and then most people take them off after the fact.
Okay.
So
Because even to come in here and touch them, you give a little plastic.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yes.
So
I'm not going to tell you the first time I saw a doctor put one of those on, what happened to me.
I can imagine. Not a pretty
It
sight.
wasn't at a quilt show.
No.
Good. Good.
So, and another thing, you see these beautiful flowers,
Yeah.
and
Cook and gardener.
Cook and Garden come in and they position them for us, and they just do a beautiful job for us. I mean,
Okay. So how's it decided who was B1 and who was A1 and all those?
well,
It's a long process.
every quilt is categorized by size,
Okay.
and we have different size racks, height racks and
Uh-huh.
width racks, and so every quilt is looked at And in the beginning of the process, as we're going through that, we also look for color and will things go well together. But that's at the beginning of the process. By the end of the process, we don't do that anymore.
Some are categorized by whether they were a what we call mystery quilt.
Yep.
You'll see if you go walking behind you, it's all the same pattern, but depending on the color they use, it gives it a completely different look. Some are classes, some are.
Yeah, these are all mysteries.
Like these here, these two here are similar.
They're all all of
the
these.
same pattern.
The whole
Yeah.
row is
Right.
the same.
But it looks different
Right.
from
They're
the
all
material.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's got a different top.
And then
Right.
the
A
other
little bit longer.
side, they were classes. And we really want the public to know that we teach. You know, there are things that we do. We teach. We work together. Up further, you're going to see community service, all of the different services that we donate different things
Since
to.
the,
How many?
since the last quilt show, we've donated over 2,000 items.
Wow.
They go to Christmas Bureau, they go to the Heart Center, they go to nursing homes, they go to Camp
Camp
Katumka,
Very good.
can't
for
ever.
cancer and kids with
Yes,
cancer.
right.
They go
Vermont.
to some of the kids' hospitals.
Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels.
Every client receives a placemat.
Oh.
Food protectors to some of
Heart
the
ward. We make heart pillows.
Well, who does all that work?
We do.
The guild members. You'll see when you go a little bit
That's in
farther
our
up
free
is the
time.
setup. Yes, it's set up, and we have a lot of demonstrations going on right now. So people come in. We're showing hand quilting. The theme is called Treadle to Technology. So we wanted to encompass the history of quilting, but show you what is new and out there. So the technology part of it is all the machine embroidery and everything that you will see as you pass through. Obviously the treadle is the history, and so we have different demonstrations going on throughout the show. Some are vendors, some of our quilt members that will give different demonstrations. So.
I imagine there are some people who insist on doing it the old-fashioned way. They
Absolutely.
won't jump on this modern technology.
There are. And, you know, I think the really important thing is that people do their own thing and accept their own thing, but accept everybody else's thing too.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way to do it. And, you know, that's the beauty of it all.
Well, there's certain guidelines. You can't just throw some stuff together
Well,
and call it a quilt.
It's nice to have a
Well,
ruler
some
and
do.
measure. But,
Some do,
you know,
but you'll see.
you're
You'll
going to
them
see, yeah.
modern quilts. Their interpretation of what they feel was modern.
Uh-huh.
We have a red and white challenge back
Oh.
there where they had to do strictly just red and white and create something. So you'll see some fantastic ones back there. So we're just thrilled with the whole show.
Okay.
And, you know, every quilt is beautiful to someone.
Well, it's a
And-
work, if I can use the word love, it's a work of love for that
Yes,
person.
it is.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Doing, you know?
And I think the nicest thing is that people respect that, you know. And it's
Beauty is in the
their
eye of the
quilt.
beholder.
It's their quilt.
That's right. It's their interpretation
Yep.
of what that
Yes.
quilt should look like. And how many quilts do we have? I have to ask that question.
How many?
I think 284 we ended up with.
384.
Or
I'm
No,
going to
no.
count them.
No?
no, we're almost at 300.
Oh, I thought it was over 3. Oh, well.
I'm going to count them.
Well, I
and
guess
you
we'll
come
have
back
to make
You
more.
can count. Okay, go ahead and let us know.
I guess we'll have to make more.
There you go. Well, you got to know before you set up your
Oh.
racks here, and there's obviously
Oh,
you're limited by the number of racks you have.
You are right. It was 3 something.
3 something.
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
over.
there are limitations, and you know, thank heaven for the college students because they really bailed us out.
Yes.
Did you have enough nuts and wing nuts and bolts when you get, or did you have to run to the hardware store and
No,
get more?
we had enough.
Had enough.
We had enough. We even have some left over. We even have some racks left over.
Oh.
So. And then another thing that helps us is a great deal is for all of the vendors. We provide them with a drape and a rack
And
to
they hang up
separate
there.
themselves
Uh-huh.
and fosters. we rent them from them. They really have come through with us year after year after year. So a lot of community cooperation.
So does each display say the person's name, or is it supposed to be anonymous, or is it?
No. It
No?
is the person's name.
Okay, so that's
The name
Jean-
they have
Jean
come up-
Baird.
Jean Baird. She just walked by,
okay.
and we have a little
Blurb.
2 or 3 sentences about what it means to them.
Okay.
So and there are some of them that are for sale.
Now, so because you try to group them according to their design, if Jean Baird has more than one here, there might be 10 of them spread throughout
yes.
because they're different
Absolutely.
themes. So you're not going
Yes.
to run into
Yeah.
a corner and say these are all.
Right.
And
Gene
like
Welch's or,
these,
you
like
know.
I said, are all mystery quilts. So there were certain guidelines. You got a step each month, and hopefully you went ahead and you completed that step. Well, it didn't always happen that way, but and then the next month you would get another step.
Dictated by the guild here?
The people who did that committee, chair people, hi. The people who did that committee would, they came up with what it was going to be. They knew what it was going to look like, but we didn't. And, you don't know what it's going to look like, so you don't necessarily, when you buy the fabric for it, may not come
out
out
like
quite like you thought. But, yeah,
So they can't just
fun.
enter whatever they want? They've got to be
yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but this is mystery.
Oh, okay.
So other quilts, they can enter whatever
Just
they
whatever.
wish. Yes.
So how big is your guild here? How many? 384 members?
No, we're up to about 150.
Yeah. And probably after the show, we'll be pushing
Oh.
180 or so.
Yeah.
People tend to come
Come
and
and join?
then they'll come to a meeting and join after that. So
Well, hundreds of thousands of people are going to see this online.
yes,
so-
we hope so.
Wonderful.
But you got to share it a lot. And
Oh,
see
we
it.
will.
Okay. So when they decide, hey, I want to get involved, what should they do?
We meet the second Wednesday of every month at Safford Middle School at 6 o'clock. That's our guild meeting. We do have a membership table here that they can sign up this weekend if they want to.
Have a website or a Facebook
We have a
page?
website,
Yes.
Facebook
All of the
page.
above.
All the above.
All of the above.
All that modern stuff.
Champlain Valley's Quilters Guild of New York.
New York. Don't get messing with those Vermonters there.
No. You got to make sure you go on New York, and that's our main website. But Treadle-Tick Technology is on Facebook, and that's where we've been progressively showing through the whole preparation of this about the vendors, about the quilt show.
You may be even on there.
Okay.
I'm sure you will be because Mary Lou did that too. So we welcome you and thank you for coming. We appreciate
Absolutely,
that.
take
And,
take a walk around and
you
see
know,
some of these
walk
gorgeous
around,
quilts.
talk to people.
Yeah,
You're good
so
at that.
Most of the quilters are here then?
Oh,
A large
lo-
majority.
a lot.
And I take it you got 150 members. At your monthly meetings, you don't have 150 people you can join without having to go to a meeting every month.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh,
So
yes.
there's
Winter will deter a few of them from coming to the meetings, but when the
so
weather
there's
is good,
communication through the email and stuff.
Oh,
All
absolutely.
that modern stuff.
yes.
Yeah. And every month there is, we do a newsletter, a very nice newsletter.
And that's always on the website.
Yeah.
So
That's accessible to anybody.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just to digress a little bit, you said your husband's involved with the honor flight.
He is.
What's he doing?
He was in uniform there today. He has retired from the Air Force, and I know one of his dear friends was on the flight today, so he helps him out wherever he can. So
Keeps him out of the mischief for at least 5 days.
Keeps them out of her sewing room.
yeah, yeah,
Well, they do a wonderful thing. Those people that are behind
They
that
do,
honor flight. It's
absolutely.
Yes,
amazing.
they do.
absolutely.
I would be willing to think that many of our guild members are spouse of
Absolutely, yeah,
military individuals. I know I am. But I would say the majority.
Okay.
And we do thank our military for everything they do.
Yeah, they're part of our community
retirees.
service that
We also,
We have,
that is one thing, we take quilts down to the VA
yeah.
in Albany. So we're always there.
All right.
I have one at home that I'm getting ready to quilt after the show that a friend in Florida made specifically to give to the honor flight to raise money. So a lot of good things happening.
Yes. All right. So 2 years from now, people
We'll be
watching
right
at
back
home,
here.
we'll
Same
be right
place.
back here.
Yes.
We'll look for it.
Okay.
And so, all right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
You have any other?
Everywhere you look, there are quilts, 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 and more quilts. And I'm trying to keep my wife from going in and buying stuff here.
No, she's
No,
saying hi.
She's saying hi. Okay, she's just going over to say hi. Sure.
One of her course members.
Okay. All right, then we roaming around here, and we came across this lady. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Janet Altman.
And Jean said you're doing something brand new as a quilter.
Yes, I am. What I do is make hats out of the fleece. We use a lot of fleece in our quilting projects, and the leftover fleece is used now for making hats. Last year we made hats for Project Gabriel, and the Gabriel Project is great. It helps new moms and moms that haven't given birth yet, and it gets them set up. And with the hats, when little ones are out in this weather, they need a hat. And that's how we started out. Now we're expanding it to include children, young children, and even up to adults, because it's cold up here.
Okay, and what got you involved in doing this?
Just my passion to help people. You know, all us quilters help people. We do a lot of charity work, and this would just seem like a great segue into, you know, using our materials that are left over and also helping someone. So it seemed like a good fit.
I know many years ago now, because he's been gone for a while. When Project Gabriel first came to the area, we talked to Father Blow, Jerry Blow,
Yes.
at Our Lady of Victory. In fact, Father Blow was the fellow who officiated at Judy and my wedding 42 plus years ago. So I know it's at OLVA, or not. I take the A out of there. It's not Academy anymore.
Yes.
Old habits are hard to break. Our Lady of Victory, OLV.
Yes.
Is it still out of there?
It's still over there, yes. You go behind the church, and it's in the building in the back, yes. That's exactly where it is. And we would love to hear from people that are having a little struggle with being a new mom or a pregnancy,
mom?
an expecting mom, not expecting how to do this, especially a young mom. You know, where do I go? What do I do? And this is a great place to get them situated and connected.
Okay, so they can even stop in there. Is there a number on the phone? Phone books are getting rare these days too, but is there a number or they can just, if they called Our Lady of Victory, would they be able to?
Yeah, calling Our Lady of Victory will put them in touch. I unfortunately don't have the number on me, but yeah. But
Next time, carry that number with you.
I'm
okay?
going to have to. I'm going to have to.
So are you looking for more folks to help, or you going to make all the hats you need?
Oh, we always look for folks to help. Anybody that quilts or sews or has fleece, give me a call.
Now, you don't have to be a guild member, anybody, right?
Anybody, yeah, anybody. Especially if you want to help out with the Gabriel Project, that's great. Just call, you know, A Lady of Victory and we'll get you connected.
About a month or so ago, I was at Babby's Rural and Farm Learning Museum, and they were making fleece there. Do you make your own fleece, or is this store-bought fleece?
No, this is store-bought fleece. That is really, that's an art. We're using the store-bought fleece so that they can throw it right into the wash when the hat gets dirty.
Because that's a lot of work making that fleece, but that's how our ancestors did it.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
All right,
Anything to keep warm.
Well, keep up the good work. I think that's it's a very nice project, and who is more deserving than new mothers?
Yes, yes, and those little babies.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Judy and I have made our way around, and we're going to talk to a few people. And the first place we had to stop is right here. It's called the Antiquu Thimble. What's that?
Antique thimbles.
Antique Thimble. Oh, Never knew how to pronounce that word. Antique. I've been saying antique all these years.
It's antique thimbles.
And so why am I, if this is about antiques, how come I'm talking to such a young person?
I'm probably look younger than I am. I'd like to think that, but
Don't we all?
I don't think I'm that far behind you.
I always tell people I'm older than I look. I'm really 43 years old.
Ah,
So are you older than you look?
well, I like being the age I am. I don't find that an issue at all.
Okay.
I'm having too much fun. Let's put
Alright.
it that way.
This is Velma Perrier. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes,
Perrier?
yes.
I got called on that once. So
Oh, have you?
I used to say Perrier, and then I was told it's Perrier. A little extra purr in there.
A little purr, yes.
Yeah. Yes, and you got your husband, Francis, and you can't take his picture. Don't take his picture, Judy. He'll be mad at you. The bishop.
You might as well come in because they're laughing at you anyway.
He's conducting business. He's making a sale for you over there. Keep going there. The Bishop LaValle's #1 inspiration here, Francis Perrier. Saw the bishop today at the honor flight. And he didn't even mention you, so I hope you're not devastated.
Well,
No.
I got to put the microphone down.
Oh, you put it-
If I
oh.
put the microphone up here to talk to you, look what happens.
there you go.
You know these short folks.
Yeah, I know.
So, which one of you is the quilter? I asked that, and some lady pointed right here at you.
Yes.
As if I was really wondering.
Yes, I'm the quilter. I've been quilting for many, many years. I retired and then decided that I was going to open up a long arm business, which I did. And then we couldn't find the batting I liked, and so I decided to handle it, and it just evolved from there. I've got I've got many different types of rulers. The one I like the best and talk a lot about is the creative grid
Is he
rulers.
supposed to be making a sale over there? Is there that lady buying
Oh,
something?
that lady is I would say my best friend. Probably I'd call her more like a sister friend. And
friend?
yes, and she just is.
Just helping herself.
Oh no, she's helping me sell.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she's
Okay.
doing me a big favor. That's Jean Arlt, and I just think the world of her.
Oh, well,
We both do.
both. So, what's your job in this enterprise?
Well, loading the van, unloading the van, help set up, run home, get stuff that we forgot, or she forgot,
She forgot.
and now
You forgot.
I
You
help
forgot.
out on the register a little bit.
Oh, okay. She trusts you with the money now?
Well, it's all computer, so there's not much cash, so she can trust me.
You won't put any in his pocket?
Oh no, he's pretty good about that.
Okay. So, do you have a storefront, or how do
I have a
people deal with
storefront.
antique
If
thimble?
I'm just about 12 minutes from Plattsburgh.
12
I'm
minutes?
on the Military Turnpike.
That's for some people. That's about 8 minutes. You know, they drive kind of fast on that road.
Well, you know,
Have you noticed that?
Exactly.
There are a few that do, but not all of us that do.
Not the ones that stop at your place. Right?
That's right. And I'm on the going towards Allingburg. I'm on the left-hand side of the road. It got a nice, pretty purple sign. You can't miss it. Antique thimbles and what I have there. And he's got a picture of it.
Oh, I got a picture here. This
I have a
town is Judy.
pamphlet that.
There you
There's a
go.
sign that's in front of our house.
Okay, hold that right there and be steady, because Judy's going to zoom right in on that.
And that is my storefront.
That's your storefront. And how often are you there?
I'm there Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And I do work some days on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but that's sporadic. So I tell people Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Saturday mornings,
Except for Saturday morning, September 30th.
except for Saturday morning, September 30th. Yeah,
Because
right.
you were here.
I'm right here.
Does he help you in the store at all?
He'll bring me something to drink and let me know that supper's ready.
Oh,
And
wow.
are you done yet? And don't you think it's time to come in? That's how he reminds me that It's
Are
time
these
to
family
eat and-
secrets here you're sharing with us?
Yes. That's what makes it
Pile
nice.
and unload. Same thing. That's my job. I'm tall. I get it all.
Oh yes, when I need something that I can't reach,
On the tall shelves.
it's easier to just say,
Well, something that's 5.5 feet you could probably reach, right?
"Oh yes,
Yeah.
Not much more now.
smarty." But this is a lot of fun. It's a
Okay,
great
so you got-
retirement.
You have different.
These are wide
Fabrics?
backs that go on a long arm. So
Okay.
what these fabrics are wide enough so when I acquire a quilt that someone wants me to quilt,
Mm-hmm.
they pick out the color that they want, and I give them the yardage, and I load that onto my my long arm and quilter quilts.
Okay.
And that's basically what that fabric is for.
Okay, so I have no idea what you just said, but I'm sure any quilter will understand that
Oh
language.
yes, they will.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing though? When I started, some of the, especially with long arming, some of the terminology they used went right over my head, and now it's just like
Just part of your-
it's just part of life. But this has been a very fun thing for me to do. The women that you associate with in this profession, I'm going to call it, is just wonderful. They are absolutely very talented, as you probably saw around here, and it's just a lot of fun.
Okay, and no men that buy
There-
from you?
For gifts for the wives.
We need more
But
men quilters.
There are men quilters
I
out
know
there.
that, but they don't
and-
deal with you then.
Oh well, I'm sure they would if they knew that
Well,
what I
now-
had.
all
And
right, so you
now
men
that they- Yes,
quilters.
just come on down.
On the turnpike, is there a number?
4235 Military Turnpike.
4235. All
That's right. Halfway between Ellingberg and Plattsburgh.
Francis's age, 42, and your age, 35.
There
right?
you go.
Okay. Just remember that.
Yes, he wishes.
No matter how you're trying to work it out, it still sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else we need to know?
No, I think we're having a great time, and I hope we get a lot of foot traffic through because this is a great show. I know the amount of work because I chaired the last quilt show,
I
so
thought I recognized you.
yes, you thought so.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, and thank
When
you.
you see Francis, thank him too.
I will.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
Bye bye.
Yeah. With over 350 quilts here, there's no way we're going to do justice to this and look at all of them, but we were told by a lady, and she said you're going to be mad at her. Joyce Robinson Ryan says you have to talk to Floyd Supernaw's granddaughter.
Oh, yep, my grandfather.
Who are you?
I'm Kathy DeSalle, and
You're young.
I'm young.
Not so young anymore.
I'm young in the middle. I'd like to be a little more young in the middle, but yes, I started quilting probably in 2008, and really made my first quilt for my granddaughter when she graduated from high school, and my husband is sorry that I ever took that first beginning quilting lesson.
He doesn't like your quilts?
Oh, he loves them. But yes.
Keeps you occupied.
It does keep me occupied. It isn't a cheap hobby, and I don't think anyone who gets into it realizes how much is involved. My aunt, who's 93 years old, is kind of Aunt Powell Boyd from
Okay.
Altona, New York, and she is my inspiration. My grandmother Young was my inspiration. They have kind of introduced me into quilting and using fabrics that people had passed on once clothing wasn't used anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the quilts that I make are hardly scraps, and
So you probably have never sold one then.
I have never sold a quilt. No.
Have you ever given one away or parted
I've
with one yet?
given them all away. I
Oh,
have
okay.
probably one that I have kept for myself, and it's Amazing Grace. It is here in this show.
Oh, well, I'll have to
But-
look at that one too.
Thank you. But this one I made for my son-in-law. He was in the Marine Corps, and it just makes me proud of him to see the service that he did for our country and to just pay him honor.
What's his name?
Ronald Winnington Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, And very proud of him, very proud of our servicemen and women. And this is my way that I could say thank you to him.
Joyce said you had 11 quilts in this. Is that right? How many?
16 quilts.
16. Joyce, you were wrong. 16.
And a table topper and a table runner. So, and that was what I could gather back from my friends and family that allowed.
You've already given these out yet?
Yes. Yes.
Can I borrow one?
Yeah. I gave them in that they acknowledged that I was going to borrow them back for the quilt show. But after this, they're all theirs.
Back they go, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Floyd Supernaut, do you have any sons or is it all daughters?
4 girls.
4 girls.
Joyce, Jackie, Jean, and June.
All right, I know there was a Jackie Harvey and
Jean Littner.
Jean Littner, yeah,
Yep.
Daryl's wife.
Yep.
And
June Misak,
okay.
my Aunt June, and my mom Joyce Young. Yep. They're a close family group, and my grandfather didn't have a chance with 4 girls and a wife. They grew up on River Street in Champlain and went to St. Mary's High School and Champlain Central. So
it was a long time ago. Floyd, of course, worked in the
at Sheridan.
at Sheridan, and he was in the foundry and until that closed.
Yeah.
And went into purchasing, and your family had several women too, huh? Several girls.
Yeah. 3 girls and 1 boy.
One
Kathy,
guy.
Carla, Lyle, and Nancy. Yeah. And my brother didn't have a chance either.
I don't imagine.
He is my favorite, and he's just a kind-hearted soul. My sister Carla, and I made one quilt for all of my siblings, and made quilts for my grandchildren as they graduated from high school.
Uh-huh.
So there's a couple more that are in the making. That a 3-year-old granddaughter, grandson who will be graduating next year. Not this. He's a junior this year.
Okay.
So he'll get one when his time
quilt
comes.
is
It's
being made.
he's got to put his order in first. So it's just a fun hobby. I enjoy being around this group of ladies. They teach you a lot, and I like to piece things together. I like putting things together, but once I get to that point, I'm not crazy about doing the quilting part, and that's where my 93-year-old Aunt Pal comes into play. She has quilted several of my quilts, hand quilted, and but then I have another lady who does the long arm quilting that was done in this one, where she picked up the Iwo Jima and the Bulldog and the Marine Corps' their emblem with the world with the eagle above it.
Okay.
She just did a
You
fantastic
have to zoom in
job.
on the threading here to see what exactly. Now, explain to the folks who aren't quilters like you and I are what you mean by
you quilt, Calvin?
Oh, no, but I know all the Silver Sisters, so that helps.
Okay, yes, it does.
Exactly what you meant by
The long arm quilting.
No, but the quilting itself. You've done all the work, but you didn't quilt. What does that mean?
Right.
What is the quilting? What is that?
The quilting is actually, I think, what makes the quilt. I could have that top, and it wouldn't even be something that you would think much of. But once the batting and the backing get applied to it and makes the sandwich, is what they call it, then the person quilting it does their work of art, and which I think is even more truly a work of art, right?
What I would call threading.
Yes, and that can make a quilt just stand out.
Well, yeah, I don't know if Judy can zoom in on that brown one that's between the flags and the stars.
That's the Marine Corps emblem.
You can. I don't know if you can make out the emblem there. The Marine Corps emblem is on that quilt. So all that is done by threading, and it's just an amazing talent to be able to do that.
Corporal Ronald Whittington.
Okay, up on the top, the name is spelled out.
And he was.
So
and his dates of service are.
So what are you going to do when your aunt retires, then what are you going to have to do it yourself?
Well, she's told me for the last 9 quilts that was the last one that she was going to do. So
Sweet.
I ended up, I bought her a frame. She moved into senior housing 2 years ago, and she has still continued to hand quilt my quilts. So I'm not giving up on her yet.
So you'll cross that bridge when you come.
Yes,
to it.
I will.
All right. Well, anything else that we should know about you?
Just I appreciate my family and my friends, and this is the way I show thanks to them for, being my friend and honoring them.
Okay. I hope you made a nice one for your sister Carla.
I sure did.
Because I recently had a ball game on from 1986 there.
I saw that
Did you?
at Mom's. Yes. Yeah.
She was a lot younger.
Different hairdos. Nancy was in it too.
Was she? Okay.
Yes, she was.
I know she played in the same team for a while.
Yes,
but
they
I
did.
just watched spurts of it. And
The Scioto
it was Fox Hill Maple.
Fox Hill Maples. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Calvin. Thank you.
Judy says we are rolling. This lady is pulling lint off her quilt. What? Did somebody throw something on your quilt?
It looks
don't
like
keep
it.
backing up behind me here.
Where you want me?
I want you so you can see that camera. See Judy over there?
See Judy.
You know
Okay.
Judy?
I know Judy.
All
You
right.
want me here?
All
right.
Yeah, Judy wants you right there.
Right here. Okay, what do you want?
Your name,
Kay Kern.
Social Security number.
I don't have one.
Social Security number and date of birth and last 4 digits of your credit card.
I don't have any of those.
Okay. All right. So I guess I don't need to. What have you got here, Kay Kern?
This is summer solstice.
It is.
Yes. Don't ask me why it's called that. I have no idea.
It's very purple. It must be a.
Very purple. It's all laurel birch fabric.
Who?
Laurel birch.
Laurel birch.
Laurel birch. I'm sure everybody knows who Laurel birch is if they have been around. And even the buttons.
I guess I haven't been
Even the
around.
buttons. You wouldn't because you're a man.
I'm a man.
Even the buttons are laurel
You got
birch.
laurel birch buttons?
Laurel birch buttons, laurel birch fabric. It was just something I saw and it was like, oh, it's kind of happy looking. And there are times when we all need happy.
So this is going to make you happy here.
It
So
made me happy. My husband said, that's a little wild. I said, I know, but sometimes you feel wild. I did all the machine piecing. Jean Welsh did the machine embroidery. It's all done with feathers. I don't know
you
if
don't
you
have
can
your
see.
white glove on and you're touching your
It's
quilt.
my own quilt.
Okay.
I've touched it for the last 6 months. And the back is even purple.
I'll turn it so Judy can see the back.
You want to see
that?
the back, Judy? There's my label.
There she is.
There it is. It's the pattern
own
by
label.
Diane Dunmore, and it's from Quiltmaker magazine. It was just something I wanted to do. It's way out of my comfort zone, but it's bright and it was fun, and I had a good time doing it.
Okay, so you've got those colorful buttons and also some buttons that look like real buttons. I see a little yellow button that looks like a real button.
Yeah, those are just Joanne buttons.
Those are
But the rest, like this, and there's butterflies, those were laurel birch.
Laurel
Actually, this was the last fabric I bought out of Loose Threads, which was a quilt shop in Plattsburgh. And they went out of business about 3 years ago. And I bought the fabric before they went out of business. So
I would think that's the best time to buy it before they went out of business.
yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is I didn't buy enough of the backing, so I had to buy that someplace else. But anyway, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
So does it come with all those little rectangles?
No. You cut it in strips.
cut it in strips.
Cut it in strips, and it's called foundation piecing.
Uh-huh.
And you take your foundation, which is a piece of muslin, and you lay your strips down,
Uh-huh.
put one down the middle, and then you do what they call flip and sew. So
That's
you
what I
lay
call it.
you lay the second one on top, do a 1/4 inch seam, and flip it. And you keep doing that till you get that foundation filled. And then you trim it to the size you want, and then you put it together. It
Sounds
took
like a
while.
lot of work.
It was. I don't think people realize how much time goes into a quilt. We look at all of these, and there are hours and hours and hours. And we could never get out of it what we've put into
Yeah, anybody
it.
who buys a quilt from somebody
Oh.
is not paying for their time. Because
No, you couldn't afford to buy them.
No.
No.
If the person doing it isn't loving what they're doing,
That's right.
but
Absolutely.
you can do it while you're watching Seinfeld or whatever? Or
Football? Well, no, I'm off football with all this garbage.
Okay, all right.
Are you too?
I
It's
haven't-
just nonsense. We don't want politics here today.
I haven't watched football since Howard Cosell retired.
Really? Oh, well, see, I grew up in western Pennsylvania. We had 2 seasons, football and off.
In the off season.
Yep.
How about the preseason didn't even count? You didn't have the preseason?
Well, that's football.
Okay, that's right.
football.
Yeah, they play
So
right
we have
away.
football and off. Yep.
Okay.
But quilting's addictive, as you can see. We have, I think somebody said 308 quilts. And then we have our consignment shop, and we have the made by us shop, which are things that people have made, which we're selling. And then the consignment.
The guild is selling
The
those.
guild, well, no, the members of the guild.
I see.
And then the guild gets a percentage of that, which helps to pay for speakers and program
The
and
trip to Las Vegas.
No.
The officers go every year.
no.
Well, I didn't-
I've never been to Las Vegas. I don't think I'd even want to go.
Well, I can't tell you about it because
You've never been either?
I've never been either.
Nah,
But if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you about it because
you wouldn't remember?
no, because it stays there.
It stays there. That's
That's right.
right. That's right.
That's what they said about Perry's Mills too. You know,
Yeah, I know. Perry's Mills is
what happens
That's-
in Perry's Mills stays in
Stan
Perry's.
Perry's Mills. Mm-hmm. You didn't live in Perry's Mills.
No,
No.
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 Just in Champlain.
Right. So,
Yeah.
how many quilts have you made in your lifetime?
Oh my gosh.
In the past
Hundreds.
30 years.
Hundreds.
You're in your-
I've been quilting.
You're in your late 30s now,
Yeah,
right?
mhm.
Yeah, I thought so.
Add about 40 to that. Actually, I've been quilting probably, I started when I was quite small. My great-grandmother was a quilter. My grandmother, my mother, and myself.
That's 4
On
generations.
both sides. I know.
On both sides?
On both sides. Yeah, everybody
So
was a
both
quilter.
grandmother?
Both.
Well, actually, you got, let's see, you got one mother, 2 grandmothers, 4 great-grandmothers.
Grandmothers. That's right. And they were all quilters, and I have a lot of their quilts, which I was very fortunate
Oh,
to
wow.
have. Yeah. I was communicating with it turned out to be like a 4th cousin, and she said to me, Kay, I have some of your great-grandmother's quilts. Do you want them? I said, well, of course I want them. So she sent them to me. She was in an assisted living home and sent them to me, and she died like maybe 2 weeks later.
Wow.
So I was really, really lucky to get them.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm going to give them to, but I have them. But they used to tell me that when you went to her house, my great-grandmother's, that's when they did everything by hand, and they would set up the frame, and if you didn't match her stitches, you were never invited back. So she probably wouldn't like what I do,
No,
because
she
I don't
wouldn't.
hand quilt. This is all machine quilt, or as we say, quilt by check. But anyway, yep,
So what do you do with all your quilts?
I give them away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Family, friends, to people that will appreciate them, not people that are going to use them for, as we always say, dog beds or pet beds. But, once you give them away, you have no control.
Well,
So
they're pet parents now. Don't you hear those
Oh.
commercials? Are you a pet parent?
I'm a pet parent of many pets. Many pets. But you a pet parent?
I've got a few cats out in the barn. That's about
That's
as
barn
pet
cat.
parenty as I'm going to be.
You a pet grandparent?
Many generations of pets, but I've never considered them myself being a parent to any of them.
Well, they're company.
Yeah.
We have 2 Jack Russells, and for some reason, the one Jack Russell just loved this quilt, and I had to keep it up off the floor so he wouldn't lay on it. But he liked it, but he's not going to get it.
Oh no. Well, I thought dogs were colorblind, so
I'm really not sure, because he gravitated right to that quilt. So it's really bright,
yes.
very bright.
All right.
Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you for coming.
Judy's idea.
Yeah,
I didn't want to come, but Judy said you
yeah,
have
right.
to go.
You have
so.
to go. Well, of course, because she likes quilts.
Yes, she does.
There are some for sale, in case you didn't know. But anyway, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Glad to be here, Kate.
Thank you.
Kate Kern.
And I understand the soup is excellent.
Many, 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 many years ago, There used to be, I don't know, a semi-annual. How often was that happening? Quilt show in Ellenburg every 2 years. That's semi-annual. The Silver Sisters had a quilt show, and for the past several of those quilt shows, I would go. But I found out just moments ago that I haven't been there since 2005. That's 12 years ago, and it seems like if you'd said 2012 or 15, I would have probably agreed with you. 12 years, I can't believe that. So we're going to start at this end. Which one of you is the queen here? You're the queen?
So they've designated me the queen because I hate to admit it, but I'm the oldest of the girls.
Okay.
So I rule the roost.
Well, you're going to be second this time because I'm starting here, and I'm.
Okay, good.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to step in front of these.
She's much more talented than me.
No.
Yes.
I'm the middle one. I got two older and two younger sisters.
In the middle. Don't confuse me.
Yeah.
Leona, the baby's in the middle.
Age-wise.
Age-wise, okay.
I'm in the middle.
Well, I won't ask how old you are, but how old is the oldest?
She's going to be 91.
Oh.
The 30th of this month.
The 30th of October. In 1 month from today.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm 84.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not young either. And the children are all grown up.
And who are you?
Irene.
Irene who?
Bo.
Okay.
I used to live in Chattagay, and then I moved where the children were closer by after I was alone. And I like it down there, but I miss the girls. Miss the North Country.
Now, when I think of the Silver name, I think of Cherubusco and that Chattagay, Ellenburg area. Where did the Silver Sisters grow up?
In Cherubusco.
On a farm.
On a farm.
Well, if you said in Cherubusco, you don't have to say on the farm, do you?
Right.
Well, I don't know. They do have a little village.
But we are known as the ABC girls, too.
ABC, how come?
Teresa lives in Albany. I live in Bergen. Bernadette lives in Cherubusco. Marie lives in Dover Plains, and Leona lives in Ellingburg.
Whoa!
Now, how many sisters can say they live in ABC country?
If you had another one, she'd be living in Fort Covington or something.
Yeah, yeah. But, yeah, we made the trip from near Rochester to this morning. My son-in-law drove us out, so it was a nice trip, but yeah, and we're having our retreat near Lake Placid this year. We're all getting together for our challenge, and I'm sure we'll have a good time. Teresa's daughter and her friend does all the cooking and cleaning up for us, so we get waited on. We're going to be special this weekend.
So it's a retreat for you, but it's work for somebody else.
They love it.
They love it.
Well, they get to see all the show and tell and the challenges.
Yeah.
And of course, then we kind of reward them with a little treat. But no, it's a wonderful, wonderful weekend for us. We get together and we knit, crochet, play cards, do whatever we feel like doing.
And who are you, Queen?
Marie Clark from Dover Plains. And in Dover Plains, I've taught quilting there for several years, and I'm noted for being the guru of quilting there. I'm helped out at the historical children's quilt, and this year on Mother's Day, the Poughkeepsie Journal had a full-page article on me and my quilting.
Really?
Yes, and that was a nice honor, and so of course I sent everyone a copy.
I didn't get my copy. My copy hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, well, I'm not a computer person, but they have a video of it. If you can go on the Google or computer, and you can find it under the Poughkeepsie Journal.
Okay.
And you can find me.
It was on Mother's Day, you said? Or
Mother's Day, that's when the article came out. The video might have been made couple weeks before. I don't know. I don't understand the computerization of it, but so So that's me, and I'm still quilting and enjoying it. I think when you can enjoy your craft and pass it on to the next generation or to your fellow man, that's a great benefit. That's what I enjoy with it. And I make a lot of quilts. In fact, I took an inventory of what I've got at my house, and it was 500 and some.
Wow.
And that's only half. I've given that many away.
Wow.
So I've been very productive. But that keeps you sane.
Yeah, and also keeps you warm in the winter. You put about
Oh,
20 of
that's
those on the bed.
I never have to worry about being cold, and but it helps you to enjoy your friends and living. You have to have a little bit of a focus in life, and if you've got something to work towards, then you go on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's sad when people don't have something to look forward to.
Something to get up for in the morning.
That's right. That's right. And so, like you have this of photographing everybody, taking their history. That's very interesting.
I got Judy kicking me out of bed saying, "Get up." So,
And go on.
Yeah.
Go to the next
get
job.
to work.
Well, that's wonderful. Sometimes they need that. The men need that little bit of a push. Okay.
Thank you, Queen.
Okay. You're welcome.
And are you the second oldest?
Ha ha. No, I'm the youngest.
Oh, the youngest.
She used to take care of me.
Oh, she was your babysitter.
Yep.
Yes.
That's right.
Sorry, ladies, I have to step in front of you.
That's all right.
Otherwise I'd have to hang the microphone and talk to her from behind. What is your name, young lady?
Leona Manor.
Leona Manor. And you're a quilter.
Oh yes. She got me into it.
She did.
Oh yes.
She's responsible.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had done some things before for the kids and watched my mother do it. Oh my gosh, always. She was always doing it.
So your mother's the one who...
Oh yeah. Yeah,
We just
really.
talked to Kay Kern, and she said her great-grandmother was quilting, and then her grandmother, then her
Oh, it
mother.
goes down
So to go a couple generations?
one generation down another, right? Oh yes. Yeah, no, I don't know. You just pick it up. There's new methods. There's always something new coming up, new ideas. But it all ends up being the same. You enjoy doing the whatever it is. I like piecing quilts, and making different designs, and sometimes my own design, whatever. And it turns out good. Oh well, so good. And there again, they make nice Christmas gifts.
Have you ever started one and saying, oops, I don't want to keep going on this one?
Oh yeah. And then 2-3 years later, I'll say, oh, I really should finish this.
Oh, you don't throw it away, you just put it aside.
Oh, that's right. You don't throw anything away in quilting. No. You bag it all up and you give it to somebody else, whatever. And then you see someone else's leftovers and, oh, I don't have that. Oh, I like that. First thing you know, you've got someone else's fabric. Oh yeah. Trade or just some, like here, if you look at the vendors, they've got bags of stuff and little things. People clean out, they're tired of their stuff. They want something new. And for us, their old stuff is new. So, hey, it's interesting. And here, well, you can see all the different patterns, the different ideas that people have. It's just great.
Are you all still actively quilting?
Oh, yeah. Not as much as I'd like to because I got so many other things to do, but...
Stop doing those things.
Oh, I can't, though. We canned beets this week, and we picked tomatoes, and, you got to do all that stuff.
You got to make zucchini breads, and you got to make this.
I had to harvest dinner to work on Sunday, so I had to make pies, and I had to do stuff for the bake sale and the fancy booth, and then work all day, So your quilting has to kind of wait till you get a little free time. But that's life,
Priorities.
Oh, yeah. And they can change from week to week. Depends on what you like to do.
Okay, I'm going to switch here, but I'm not going to skip anybody. I'm just going to switch positions here and go to the next one. And your name?
It's Teresa Skelly from Albany.
Albany. I've been to Albany.
It's a nice place.
I've never been to Dover Plains, though. Have you?
Oh, God, yes.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we all go down to Marie's. Yeah. No, I'm like the other girls. I like to keep busy. Right now I'm doing a lot of things for charity, like children's hats and scarves, and donate them at the holidays. But I keep busy, very busy.
So you're doing something in the quilting or knitting line
yes.
all the time?
But I also have a daughter who is an excellent quilter, and she's standing right behind you.
Standing behind me.
Right there.
With that little phone there?
Yes.
Yeah. Judy, that camera will turn, you know.
No, she is. She needs
right there.
She needs to be recognized because she's.
You recognize her?
Oh yeah. And she works for the log cabin.
What's the log cabin?
That's a quilt shop in Albany.
Oh, okay.
And she's going to the Houston market.
Houston?
To the big quilt mart. And she travels different places, but she's an excellent quilter.
Well, that's because of you. You got her into this.
Oh yes, yes. But she's even better than.
Better than Mama.
Yes, so much so. But I just enjoy it. Yes.
So you're such a good coach that you.
Yep.
You improve in what you've done.
Yes. And she's going a long way in her.
In the quilting world?
In the quilting world. She's won a lot of ribbons and very good. She's good all the way around.
Oh, well, good. I hope Judy got a shot of her. All right. I didn't authorize her to take our picture here, you know. She's over there with her camera taking our picture. Anything else I should, before I move on to this last lady
No.
here, the Busco woman?
I'm still kicking, as I say.
How often do the five sisters get together?
We were together
In June?
yeah, when Gerald was out.
Yes. And our brother was out from New Mexico.
Oh.
So we
were
got
all
together, the 8 of us.
Yes.
So 3 boys or just
Yes.
five
Well,
girls?
we've lost 3 brothers, and there's 3 living, and 8 of us are still.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
when you can get together, you do, right?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
We enjoyed it.
Yes, I still enjoy and keeping busy with children and great-grandchildren. So,
All right. And at one of those quilt shows, they gave me a ribbon to pin, and I pinned it on a certain lady's quilt, and I got a friend for life. You remember who that was?
Yes. I will never forget that, Calvin. You saved the day for me, and I still have that quilt. That's the one I had appraised, the only one.
And
I have it today, and I think of you all the time when I look at it. Oh, yes.
well, we have one of your quilts that we think of you about.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. Well,
What is your name?
Bernadette Nichols. I am from that little town of Cherubusco. Almost lost.
You couldn't bear to move, so you stayed in Busco, right?
We stayed. We still farm. Our son farms it because we're too. Well, I shouldn't say old, but we are up there in age, and I still enjoy the quilting, the sewing.
we're young at
Whatever.
heart.
We are young at heart. Yes.
Did you get any windmills on your
Yes,
farm?
we do. We have 2. I love to watch them. But and as I say to everybody,
Oh, yes, yes.
as they turn, we earn. No.
So you don't mind it's a
No,
little bit windy. If it's
no.
too windy, they don't turn, though. But it's a little windy.
That's true. That's true. They can slow them down if they want, but no, they're fine, and they've helped our little town. Oh my!
Oh, sure.
They've helped a lot of the people around. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of income for the folks and taxes for the.
Yes, it has. It's been a godsend to a lot of people around here, and I know a lot don't like, but we have our opinions.
Yeah.
But it's helped us a lot.
I drove through there, went to Malone and up to Hogansburg yesterday, and I looked at those. You know,
No,
they look nice to me.
That's true, and they don't seem to bother as much as they used to.
Yeah, once you get used to them.
That's right. That's right. It's a fact.
So are you still quilting every day?
I am still. Well, this summer, my husband had his knee replaced, so that's taken a bit of time, but I'm getting back to it. Yes. Oh yes, I love to do that.
So
There's nothing any nicer than to be able to sit at the machine and sew these together. Oh, it's very comforting.
It's rewarding.
It is. It's better than taking a pill.
That's the way I look at it. And I'll always be grateful to you.
Well,
Always.
and that goes both ways, because
Yes.
Judy and I love the quilt that we
Yes.
got from there, so.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad I made your day. That
Yes,
could have been
you
2005, was it, or before then even? I can't remember.
It's in one of those years.
Yeah,
One of those years,
one of those
yes.
years, yes.
Because there's quite a bit of time that has gone by
Yes.
in those years. Because in 2007, my husband and I went to Ireland, and then in 2009 we went to Italy.
Oh my gosh.
That's all after these
So
shows.
no quilt show, so I'm going to go out to
Right, I'm going to
Travel
travel
the
a
world.
bit there.
We all went on a cruise
all 5 of you.
last year, the end of June. This was for her 90th birthday.
Oh.
We went to Bermuda.
And we were given this free.
Wow.
You can't ask anything more than that.
Well, who was the generous person?
My daughter gave
Your
me
daughter.
that. And I was
Excuse me, lady.
I was hesitant about going on a cruise. An elderly person with the children, I wouldn't be able to keep up, and so I wasn't very enthused. Oh, Mom, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Well, I get all ready. The van comes, and I get in to sit down and enjoy the trip to Newark. I look up, and here are these 4 girls.
You didn't know they were coming?
I had no idea. So you know my jaw dropped and I was almost speechless. And it was the most wonderful surprise of my life. And everybody around is laughing and hee-hawing and but it was a surprise. And they knew it for several months. And they kept it a secret.
Who said a woman can't keep a secret, huh?
That's right. Or else I was too dumb to catch on. If they made a slip, I would not even notice it.
You remember that old thing? If you want to get the news, you can telephone, telegraph, or tell a woman, right?
Correct. So
we had a wonderful time.
And the price was right?
Oh my gosh. It was so much fun. Everybody knew us on that boat when we left.
5 party girls like this.
Silver Sisters.
By the end of the week, everybody knew the sisters were going through. We would dress alike, and they'd say, "There goes the sisters."
Even the captain of the boat.
We thought maybe at the beginning we were entertainers. Can you believe that?
And then they asked us if we belonged to what denomination we belonged to.
We're sisters.
You left your habits at home, right?
Oh my. Yes, one of our first quilt shows. Yes, it was the Silver Sisters, of course, advertised.
Yeah.
And they come in and they were looking for nuns.
Boy, were they in the wrong place.
And it was in the church hall.
Right.
You know, it was
That's
just,
right.
they thought it was the nuns putting it on. But we're close to that, we're close.
So we have a lot of, I don't know of any other family that the sisters are this close and enjoy each other so much. Maybe it's because as we were growing up and our families were growing up, we didn't have the opportunity to get together the way we do now. Now the children are grown up in a way, and we just enjoy each other's company. We just have fun and laugh all the time. It's just horrendous, really.
And having a hobby that you all can share is important.
Yeah, we started it, the challenge.
Yeah.
And then we slowly added the other girl. And then we were at my mother's, and I had bought each of them a package of fabric, and I bought one for her, but she wasn't in the challenge. And I gave it to her, and I said, "Now you got to do it." But she says, "I've never made a quilt." So I said, "It's time you got started."
That's right, you youngsters.
And you ought to see what she does now. She puts us all to shame.
Oh, really?
Oh, I don't think that, but, I try.
Of course. Of course. She competes just like the rest of us.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very competitive. But at the end of the day, you...
Oh, yes.
It's fun.
Yes, because the first few we had, there was voting on them. And I think the first 5, I took first place each time. That's why they dominated me, the queen. But after that, I lost my crown because they voted.
I heard you counted the votes.
No, I had somebody count them for me.
Somebody you could trust to.
Oh, well, today everything is so scientific. My son came out from West Virginia to one of the shows. He didn't know which one I made.
Oh.
So he examined every one. He went around the show, that was in Ellenburg, and he checked my quilts that I had made and checked to see how it was made. Then he corresponded it with the challenge and knew which one I had made and voted for it. That's how he voted for my quilt. So you see how some people are. And
that was a rigged election here.
Probably.
The Russians must have been involved somehow.
We don't talk just quilts now.
What?
We don't talk just quilts.
You don't just talk quilts, but what can you tell us that you talk about that's good for family viewing here?
Always our stories, you know.
Stories, yeah, but we want it to be
Growing
clean,
up.
uplifting stories.
I don't have one right now, but we always talk. We always end up laughing. Something funny that might have happened. Girls, do you have anything?
Well, we're known, we've got several names, but the last name was the Old Ladies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
My daughter called us the old lady.
Your daughter?
Yes. Her daughter said, well, Mom, have a safe trip and have fun with the old ladies.
Oh my God.
So now we're noted as the old ladies. And
Oh,
we
my.
do have more fun than the young kids.
So that young girl went home saying, I had fun with the old ladies. We had a great time.
We did.
Yes. Somebody could join us because I did bring a little bit of blackberry wine. How would somebody like a glass of blackberry wine with us?
Got that to look forward to.
And homemade blackberry wine?
No, not quite. Not quite. No.
Just quilts.
Just quilts. Right, that are, yes.
All right.
No, but we have a wonderful time. And these 3-4 days that we get together,
It'd take us 4 or 5 days to recoup after I
Yes.
get home.
yes. But it takes us through the next year. It is wonderful.
Yeah, we make
And the fact
plans.
that we can talk to you.
That'll make your day right
Yes,
there.
it does. It certainly does.
It was great.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you gathering here because you're all spread out looking in different directions here. So they're not attached at the hip by any means. They were all over the place, so they got together just for this little interview.
We'll have to pick a quilt now, and we've got to put a ribbon on. And that's kind of a hard thing to do, is to choose one out of all these beautiful quilts.
Well, I've got
Two that I like.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen them all.
That's right. Well, there's only 300 and something, so you can.
Oh, yeah. So we have to do that.
But the 5 of you have to agree.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. And we usually do.
Maybe our first argument.
You never know.
We'll keep that camera rolling.
Yeah, the sparks might fly.
Well, the Silver Sisters duke it out here at the Champlain Valley Quilt Show.
Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you, Calvin.
And I'll see you both, all 5 of you here, 2 years.
Okay.
All right. 2019. All right, we'll be back. All right, Judy moved me out of the picture so I wouldn't get in the way here. We are at Pam Demore, the decorating diva. Is she here? Or?
I'm here. I'm Pam. Hi.
Pam Demore?
Hi. Yes.
Yeah, I think I've seen you on Hometown Cable once or twice before.
Yeah, I've got a couple appearances. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes.
So what does a decorating diva do?
I teach sewing. I teach sewing all over the country and all over the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was in Chicago yesterday. I'll be in Virginia on Monday.
Point of Fair and beyond.
Yes. Yeah.
So you were where yesterday?
I was in Chicago.
And tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'll be here, and then Monday I will be in Virginia, in Fredericksburg. Yeah.
Not that you travel much.
Yeah. you know you travel a lot when you show up and they'll say, "Oh, you're going back to Cincinnati again," or "Where's your little dog?" Or I've got a demo coming up.
Right now?
No, at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Oh, half an hour.
Half hour, yes. So I'm going to be demoing how to do machine quilting. Yep. Yes, can they hear over the overhead? Yeah.
You talk real loud.
Okay. So anyway, I'm going to be demoing some quilting, so I will show you a little bit of what we're doing here. I'll just do one real quick.
Step aside here so Judy can see.
So, this is just a circular template, and I'm just going around.
Also ongoing all day.
Zoom in on that, Judy.
is Treadle to Technology.
Zoom it in.
And then I'm going to move my template.
Demonstrating how to piece and loop with an embroidery machine. That's located in the
And then I'm going to move it again. And I'm using these lines right here to line it up. This grid that I've drawn. And this red pen, when you iron it, it disappears. So it's just a temporary.
It evaporates or what?
It just disappears with heat. So you just have to iron it. So it'll all go away. So it's sort of like spirograph for quilters. Now that gives me 4 circles. Now if I wanted to go in between, I'll line up on these lines, on these diagonal lines.
Quilting in the first aisle of the show, if you'd like to try that.
And then I'm going to line up here on that diagonal line.
Raffle baskets. One has over 300 back quarters. And
then
one is
here.
an entertainment basket. That's in the center of the show. Make sure to visit all our wonderful vendors and look at all the
And then
things
down
they have
here.
brought for you. And they're located on the exterior walls of the shows. And we also have wonderful food and drink upstairs.
So
in
there's
the
my
lobby.
design.
All right. Now, if you were to hand stitch that, you'd be here for
It would take quite a
hours.
long time, yes. So this is this template system that I show and that I sell and that I teach on. Anyone can be a machine quilter. You can use a regular home sewing machine. You don't need to have a big commercial long arm. It's a great way to start machine quilting. You can do blocks, you can do lines. I've got all kinds of projects here. Here's a wallet that I made that I machine quilted using a different template called the Mini Fill. It's a wallet. That's from my pattern for my new book. Have you seen my new book?
No, I've been waiting.
It's called Hold Everything.
Hold Everything.
Hold Everything, and it has 30 different projects inside that you can make anything. Some things that are simple enough to make, you can make in about 10 minutes, and other things will take you probably 2 days. All kinds of bags. We even have a handbag with a concealed weapon pocket. We have a sewing machine on wheels bag. We have all kinds of great projects in here.
So this is how many books now?
This is my 10th book. No, my 9th book. My 9th book. I'm working on the 10th one now. So it's hardcover. So it's just a really beautiful book, and I wrote it with a partner, Betty Mitchell. She lives in Cincinnati. So
how do you keep coming up with new themes?
I'm around creative people all the time. So whenever I'm around other creative people, we all feed off each other, and they are my inspiration. Yeah. So.
Okay. So. Do you have a website or a Facebook page?
It's
or
Pam
all the
Demore,
above?
PamDemore.com. My Facebook page is Pam Miller Demore. And that's it. PamDamour.com. Yep. That's me. I have a blog, The Decorating Diva, on Blogspot. So.
Now, I know your mother is in Altona. You're from Altona originally?
I'm originally from Altona, yes.
I know the Demores used to live right next door to the Sears up in Cherubusco.
Well, I always say, what's the best a girl from Altona can do? I had to marry a boy from Cherubusco. He's wonderful, though. He really is.
Right by Chester Sears Sawmill.
Yeah, in fact, Chester Sears' son was the best man in our wedding.
Calvin or Carl?
Carl. He's up visiting this weekend. Carl's up. Yeah, I think my husband's spending the day with him. So, yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah.
I can never forget when I met Carol. I told her I was at the Town Tavern in Moores. And I said, my name is Calvin. She said, my name is Carol. And I said, my mother's name is Carol.
And she said, my brother's Calvin.
She said, my brother's name is Calvin. She said, what's your father's name? I said, Carl.
Oh, no.
So I have a brother named Carl.
Very
funny. Have any Connies or Chesters.
Very funny, huh? Very funny. Yes. They're a great family. They're a great family. Yes. Good friends. Good friends. Yep.
So the Silver Sisters and the Demores all come from Busco.
Yeah,
so
yeah, a
good
bunch of
folk.
sewing people, sewing fools. Yes.
Okay, and your mother looks like she's busier than heck over there. I don't know if
Yeah,
Judy can
she's
get it.
probably busier than a hummingbird on crack.
She's Ma and Pa. What's her name? Just
Her
for the-
Marie Miller, and she's on the Turnpike, 4954 Military Turnpike in Altona. A little log house with lots of quilt fabric. Biggest quilt shop in the county. Over 5,000 bolts of fabric.
That Turnpike seems to be the quilt capital of the world. I mean, you've got the Perriers on there, and your mother.
Yep.
So you-
All in the family. We're related to the Perriers, you know.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Velma's our cousin. Yes. Talent does run in the family.
Well, if you're in Altona, everybody's your cousin, right?
Well, that's true, but that is totally true.
That was the old saying, if I divorced my wife, she'd still be part of the family, right?
Yes, there you go.
But your
Well-
mother is very busy over there.
Yes.
Pam.
Yeah, well, let's walk over there and talk about her stuff.
Okay, all right. We're going to leave your place unattended.
That's all right.
All right. That's a trusting lady she is. I'm going to keep talking here, and I'm going to come on this side, and Pam's going to wander over here. Right now she's busy trying to make a sale, but we're over here at Ma and Pa's Quilt Shop. I don't know if Judy's moving the camera closer. You can move it closer if you want, Judy. And Ma is busy folding fabric. And yeah, here's some more fabric being distributed. She's brought.
Attention.
Ma brought a helper with her. Who's that helper?
That's our nephew. That's Cameron, and he's my nephew.
He looks like he's a welcome worker here.
He's a great little sewer. He actually knows how to sew.
Really?
And he's just a lot of help. Yep. So she's got a lot of fabrics, and she's got some great panels. She's got fat quarters. She's got a great selection of quilt fabric.
Okay.
She's bursting at the seams.
With fabric.
With fabric.
Okay. And
Bursting at the seams, yes.
if she doesn't have it, can she get it?
I think if she doesn't have it, you don't need it.
Oh. Well.
Chances are she has it. She has it.
She has it.
She has it, yeah. Yeah, she has, what she brings to these shows is just not even a drop in the bucket. It's not even a drop in the bucket, so.
I would wonder, is this where you think you got your interest?
No.
No.
Mom started her quilt shop she started her business after I did.
Is this where she got her interest with you?
I don't know. I don't know, but I did get her started on quilting because she said she thought I was a mean teacher, but she realized when she started she was just a bad quilter.
Has she improved any?
Oh yeah. Oh, look how beautiful her quilts are.
Yeah.
She's
really nice. All these
yeah,
table
she does an
covers
amazing job.
aren't table covers, they're
No,
quilts.
yeah, she's done an amazing job. Yes, she's very talented. Yep.
Do you have time for quilting anymore? Or are you
I don't,
thinking-
but I'm going to start slowing down. My husband's going to retire in another year, a little over a year, and I have already told all of my contacts I'm not scheduling any more work for 2018. I've got all the work I need for 2018, so I'm hoping to have a little time to quilt.
Okay, so what do you sell out of your...
I sell stuff for sewing. I have a lot of handbag parts and books and zippers. We sell a lot of zippers and just sewing supplies.
No,
Where Mom sells the fabric, I sell supplies.
she has a walk-in place. You want to sell through the mail? You don't...
We do a lot of mail order, but people can come to my house and shop.
Can they?
Yeah, I mean, it's in my basement. They come over. Yeah.
You should call ahead, though, to make sure...
They have to call ahead, make
you're
sure
not
somebody's
in-
there.
You're not in...
Well, I have a full-time staff, but they just need to call ahead so somebody knows they're coming.
Okay, and got a number?
Yes, my number is 518-297-2699, and my mother's phone number is at the Ma and Pa Quilt Shop is 518-236-5762.
Looks like she recently changed it. 'cause up
No,
on that sign-
I made a mistake on the sign. I put my daughter's, the last 4 digits of my daughter's cell phone on there when I
Oh,
ordered
my
the
gosh.
sign. It's me. It was me. Doing one of those, trying to do 3 things at one time, and I
Well,
wrote
I won't tell anybody.
I
so-
typed in, my mom goes, "You don't know my phone number?" I go, "Yeah, I do." And she goes, "Well, you didn't put the right one." I said, "Oh, gosh." First I thought I must have just hit the wrong key, and then I came in and looked and I said, "No, those are the last 4 digits of my daughter's cell phone." So
I won't tell anybody. So if you don't tell anybody, nobody will ever know that it's your fault.
yeah, well, okay, it's just our little secret.
Just
Nobody's
us.
going to know, right?
Right. All right. Anything else we should know about Ma?
Mom, do you have anything to say to Calvin?
She's just fine. A lady of few words.
Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you,
and
Pam.
thank you for all you do.
Oh, well, you're
You
welcome.
are definitely an asset to the community.
Oh, thank you very much. Here's that 20.
Okay.
This is the challenge red and white, it's called, and our challenge is to try to do justice to this quilt show, and we wanted to talk to a few people, but from this point on, I doubt if we're going to be doing much talking, just basically looking. There's no way we can show you everything or linger on what we're looking at long enough, but we do want to just point out what was here. This is that red and white display that we heard about when we first started talking today. And this is a challenge, a red and white challenge. And as you can see, a lot of people stepped up to the plate for the challenge. We're going to keep the camera rolling here. We'll even look at some red flowers, but we'll go around the corner and lo and behold, there's more red and white. A darker red, almost a maroon red. I know this is a lot to take in as a viewer, but we don't have time to stop and read because we're looking at so many quilts all at once. And we're probably not going to be able to go down every little area to look at all those quilts, but we do want to give you a feel of what's here. And again, if this happens to get on the internet before the end of October 1st, we'll try to get back sending it up overnight, so it'll be up early October 1st. This will be happening again on October 1st. 2017. Today is the 30th. But in 2 years, all these quilters will be back here putting on the 2019 show. We had to choose today. We went to the North Country Honor Flight, as we might have mentioned several times so far. And the Comic Con is going on at the Crate Center. So we could have gone there. There's a little section that we are looking at here. This is just a diversion for a moment. In memorial, each of these little quilts or runners, whatever they are, a particular situation is done in memory of somebody. And it's a popular area for people to stop by and look. So these are put up in memory. Those are memorials. And in the meantime, as we keep the camera rolling, we'll come around to this side and see more of the red and white display. And as the signs say, please touch the quilts only with the glove. They provide you with a little glove to use when you want to touch the fabric. A little plastic glove, latex glove, like a doctor would have. But everywhere you look, there are quilts, and more quilts. And It's just a matter of taste as to which one is you might consider to be the best looking. I don't know if we'll be here long enough to be told which one the Silver Sisters chose. Some of them are for sale. There is another for sale area every year at these shows. So here, $175, and if the person kept track of the hours they spend making that quilt, you would realize what a bargain that is. And of course, as we're doing this, we try not to interrupt other people's views. And everywhere you look, quilts, quilts, and more quilts. And quilters, and more quilters. I think the admission price was $8, but you can easily spend hours here just taking in the quilts. A lot of people are taking pictures, photos, and videos. You don't have to be a quilter by any means to enjoy what you're seeing here today at this Champlain Valley Quilters Guild of New York. Again, there's a Champlain Valley Quilters Guild in Vermont. This is the New York version. And they have done, once again, an outstanding program here. You see modern designs, and you see things that look like something Grandma might have made years ago. And we turn and find more quilts. And I have to point out, when we're looking down a row like this, we're only seeing half of each row, because in the opposite direction is another set of quilts that are facing folks from the opposite end. I would like to stick around for another 3 or 4 hours to really do this place justice, but time marches on and we have other places that we have to go, but we hope this just gives you a little idea of how fantastic this field house looked on this September 30th, 2017, and we look forward every 2 years. Used to be the Silver Sisters would have a quilt show one year, and there'd be another one with another group the next year, and between the two of them we could look forward to a quilt show every year, but that's no longer so. So we appreciate our viewers. We appreciate those who understand that this is viewer supported local television, and without viewer support there could be no hometown cable. So if you're not a viewer supporter, at least take time to thank the people who are supporting our ongoing efforts, and consider becoming one of those folks who are making this possible for the rest of you to enjoy. Thanks for watching, and for those of you who support viewer-supported local television, hometown cable TV, we think is worthy of your support. Thank you for watching.